Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Thursday night and it's dark here already at 6:30. It's getting to be that time of the year. As Thursday nights, I jump on with either a technique or a mystery challenge. And so tonight it's a mystery challenge. And the challenge is to case a card made by a demonstrator. Could be me, could be someone else. I'm actually casing a card made by my friend Diane Evans, who, when I saw this, I really love the layout. So case means copy and share everything. Hey, Betty, welcome. And so there's lots of ways that you can case a card. You can case the colors. You can case the sketch or the layout. You could case it exactly if you really love the card. The one thing about when you case a card and if you share it on social media or anywhere, you really should give whoever's card it is credit for it. At least I believe you should. So that, you might even ask them if it's okay to case. So I have asked Diane if it's okay to case her card for tonight's challenge. So I hope that you went out looking for a card and that you'll play along with me and share the card that you've cased. And you can share it on my Facebook group, and the link to that group is underneath this video if you aren't part of it already. All right, let's get started. First of all, let me show you. Hey, Polly, welcome. Okay, so this is the challenge. Copy and share everything. I think there's different meanings for this. I can't remember. I always say copy and share everything. So it could be a card or a project. Again, it doesn't actually have to be a card. So this is the card that Diane shared recently. And I just really liked how simple it was. She's used the Splendid Day. She's done some embossing, this black. You may not be able to see it. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but it's embossed. Just a really simple card. And this would be what I would definitely call a Diane card because it's petal pink and black, and she does a lot of those kinds of colors, but just really kind of simple and very beautiful. So I am going to use, because I'm kind of hooked on this, this is the framed florets. This is the new bundle that will be available for customers to get their hands on starting November 1st. So it's a whole collection. The Framed Florets bundle will carry over into the January to June mini catalog. There is designer series paper. This is the piece that I have chosen. I just love this checked. It's in evening evergreen. And then this is really pretty as well with the evening evergreen and blue flowers. So this is just one piece of the designer series paper. And there is also, these are the they call them gold adhesives. What did I say? Gold adhesive backed swirls. So you might not be able to see them, but they've kind of got little swirls on them. I just love the fact that we now have, at least for the moment, some gold embellishments. And there is another stamp set, I believe, called Festive and Framed. I have it here somewhere. No, Framed and Festive. I have it backwards. Which is more for the holiday season with some great holiday sentiments. I like this one, from Our Home to Yours. And I love the mixed fonts in it. So a number of these will not carry over. The paper, the embellishments, and that last stamp set will not carry over into the upcoming mini catalog. So they are available while supplies last only, starting November 1st. Okay, lots of long-winded. So the fact that this bundle has ovals, which we have not had for a while, is amazing. This one just cuts out this pattern of hearts in an oval shape, but you can actually cut the middle out of it using this smaller oval with the little lines on it. And then there's more ornate oval shape. Again, this one cuts the oval out of the middle, as does this one. And then, of course, you've got some extra pieces, some extra dies that will cut leaves and this sprig, and then the dies to cut out these really pretty flowers. All right, that's what I'm using because I can't stop using it now that I have it. Took a while for me to get my order. Okay, So now Diane's card is going to look a little different than mine. So I'll just bring it in and show you kind of how I've interpreted it. So I'm using Evening Evergreen cardstock. And this is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. And as always, grab my bone folder, and this is the side I score on, so I always fold into the raised line or the mountain and use my bone folder. Okay. So then I've got a piece. So I decided I wanted to, it's quite dark with the Evening Evergreen. I wanted to just brighten it up a little bit. So I'm adding an extra layer in here. So this piece of Designer Series paper is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. Oh no, YouTube keeps freezing. Hopefully, I'm not sure who that is. I can't tell, but make sure you go out to streamyard.com/Facebook and give Facebook permission. But hopefully YouTube's not misbehaving. It seems to be working for me. Okay, so I have added an extra layer of basic white here. So 4 inches by 5 1/4 for the Designer Series paper, and I've cut this 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, just so you get kind of just a little peekaboo of the design of the white behind it, just to brighten it up a little bit. This Designer Series paper, I think this particular one I've chosen would make a really pretty Christmas card, being an Evening Evergreen and the check. This isn't going to be a Christmas card. This is going to be I'm not sure what sentiment I'm going to put on it yet, but not Christmas. Okay. Now I'm not going to adhere that on quite yet because I haven't quite decided. I grabbed some ribbon and I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with the ribbon. So then I cut a square. So following, Diane's, I'm using this similar layout, actually the same layout. So I've cut a square that's 3 inches by 3 inches, and then I cut a square of Evening Evergreen that is 2 3/4. I think that's what I did. Yeah, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to adhere that down onto. So casing is always, sometimes you just find beautiful cards and you just want to make them, and that's great. But if you lose your mojo using, casing ideas from, that's what going to Pinterest is all about, is casing ideas. So, if you can't think of something to do yourself, go out and look for ideas. I find that sometimes when I'm looking on Pinterest for ideas, I see a card that I quite like, and sometimes when I actually finish the card, it really doesn't look much like what I thought it was going to, or much like the card that I thought I've cased, just because, I don't know, you'd start to interpret it in your own way. All right, so this really pretty sprig, and then I cut some of these little leaves that are part of the florets, so we'll just leave those for the moment. But I'm going to stamp this kind of garland image. I think my piece of paper is big enough. Yes, it is. All right, I'm going to stamp this in Tuxedo Black Memento. And there we go. So I'm just going to color that using some blends. And I grabbed a Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, and So Saffron. So I thought I would use the flowers I would do in So Saffron. Kind of is gold. And if I add some Wink of Stella, maybe they'll look even more gold-like than the So Saffron. So I'm going to go back into these and just do a little bit of dark. This is the light So Saffron. There's quite a few flowers on here. This one actually looks like a poinsettia. I'm not sure that it is, but you sure could use it as a poinsettia. Make it even more Christmassy. I think that's a flower too. let's just go in and add some. So I'm just kind of going in and adding. If you want to make it even darker, you could add a even like Daffodil Delight, for example, just to add a little bit of depth of color. This is going to be quite subtle. All right, and then we'll do some leaves in soft succulent. I was so excited. My order that I put in, I was getting very low on some of my cardstock, including Evening Evergreen. I have gone through so much Evening Evergreen. So thankfully, it arrived. It wasn't available when I went to order it, so I had to wait. And so finally it arrived, which is good. All right. I'm just going to add some darker, kind of mix up the leaves in both the soft succulent. I'm doing a very good job with these leaves, I have to say. There we go. Kind of take my time here. All right, getting there. Just kind of mixing it up. Maybe we'll add some dark soft succulent as well. Just adding a little bit of, there we go. Oops, forgot one. All right, I think I've got the leaves. Now let's find the die. So there is a die that will cut out this garland. So we'll just put that on there and a piece of Post-it note tape. You can use Post-it note, washi tape, or if you've got Post-it note tape, just to hold that in place. So I'm just going to quickly cut that out over here. All right, so there's my garland. So we will kind of just do some auditioning here and see how this is going to go. So maybe something like that, and then maybe put these leaves kind of tucked in a little bit, something like that. Now, before I get too far, I want to put some ribbon. So I'm thinking this gold ribbon would just be kind of a nice touch. So maybe we'll put some ribbon on like that. So I'm going to wrap this ribbon around the back. This cuts the piece. Now, I like to use Stamp and Seal when I'm adhering ribbon. I just find that it will adhere the ribbon better and hold it in place than if I try to use liquid glue. So it's nice. I've got these lines on my designer series paper to kind of line up and get my ribbon straight. Oh gosh. So if you see some of these, I'm sorry, we're going to block some users here. I don't know why they decide that they're going to come on and spam. So apologies for that. But if you see them, you can block them too. We pretty much try and ignore them and just block them. So, all right. Don't get them very often, thankfully, but every once in a while. Okay, so I'm going to just use some glue dots to put my my sprig on. And I had a bone fold. No, here it is. I had a take your pick tool. So I'll just take that and put there. And then I'm going to use dimensionals on this. If I can find my dimensionals. There they are. So we'll put that kind of across like that. And then I will use a glue dot on these. So I cut this sprig out of the distressed gold specialty, and I know it's not available yet. It's been not orderable for a little bit, so I'm waiting. I'm down to just a few little pieces. So I believe in North America it will be back available on around November 4th. So if you're waiting for it like I am, I think that's the date. Okay. Okay, now let's put this on with some dimensionals. Put one in the middle so that middle doesn't sag. And try and get this on straight too. Use my lines of my designer series paper like that. Could have put my ribbon down a little bit further, but we didn't. So I'm just going to do what I call a faux bow. So I just cut a piece. It's about maybe 4 inches long. And I'm just going to take and tie it, tuck it underneath this, and then just tie a knot, a single knot. Kind of looks like I tied a bow, but I didn't. Like that. It's not looking like I got that on very straight, but hopefully I did. Okay, now I need a sentiment of some sort. So I've got this scrap of basic white. So let's do this one that says, "So lucky to call you a friend." I think that will fit. Yes, it will. So I'm going to stamp that in Evening Evergreen. Like that. I really love these fonts. It actually looks like they're kind of handwritten in block, and then the more kind of script. So I'm just going to fussy cut around this. You can use a punch or a die, but I'm going to fussy cut it. So steering with my paper, my hand that's controlling the paper, makes it much easier to fussy cut. That. And we'll put that down there, maybe over here. Balance it out a little bit with some dimensionals. And let's grab a mini dimensional as well for this one end. There we go. All right, now I have somewhere got these, so let's add some of these really pretty gold. There's one up there that's kind of gone off on its by itself, gone rogue. Yeah, so let's put one there and one there. Gosh. Hello, Ginny, welcome. Hopefully you're still having some nice weather in Alaska. We certainly are here. I don't know how long it's going to last. I think we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow. I'm just going to take one of these flowers and just do a green flower here on the inside of my card. And as usual, I don't typically stamp a sentiment on my insides of my cards because I don't know exactly what they're going to be used for, unless it's Christmas or something like that, and then it's pretty obvious. But this could be a thank you card. It could be a just thinking of you card. It could be a birthday card. All right, so there is the inside of my card and the outside. Now, I did say I was going to put some Wink of Stella on. I always do Wink of Stella at the very end, and I always take a scrap and make sure that if I'm going to squeeze any Wink of Stella out, I squeeze it on a scrap because it comes out in a blob like it just did. And then typically I just pick it up like a paintbrush. But it does take a little while to dry. So it's the last thing I typically do on my card. And then I just let it sit there. So I'm just going to do these flowers and just add a little bit of Wink of Stella. Can never have too much bling on a card. There we go. And then that can just go in my recycling. Okay, so there's my card. I think it's quite pretty with the evening evergreen, and you can actually kind of just see how the Wink of Stella is still a little bit wet. So the soft succulent gold and the evening evergreen, just really pretty. Oh, 39 degrees and raining. Oh, I think we're getting the rain tomorrow. I don't know what the temperature is. 14 degrees Celsius, 28. What am I doing? I can't do that. 14, 28, and 32. Oh, 60 degrees. So a little warmer. Thank you, Ginny. A little warmer than you've got it. All right. So there's my card. Now that's the sketch that I cased. So looking very different actually when you get it done. So really I cased Diane's layout for my card and just kind of made it my own. So again, it is, go away. Sorry, I'm just trying to block this. Why is this person? Sorry, all right. I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to block and they're not being blocked. So I apologize. Not that I can do anything about it, but definitely trying to block that bot that is there, the spammer. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Oops, let's go over here. Thanks for joining me tonight. If you are making a card and playing along with the mystery, make sure you share it on my Facebook group and let me know whose card you cased. I'd love to see your cards. And every month I do a draw, and I will send a few people some happy mail for sharing their cards on my Facebook group, because I love to see what everybody creates. Okay, thanks for joining me. I will be live again on Saturday at 11 Pacific, and also Sunday at 12 noon Pacific with some projects for you. So I hope you'll join me then. Thanks for joining me tonight, everybody. Happy stamping. Bye.